This was another issue that I had. But it went over everybody's head.
You're loud as fuck, and it's embarrassing. This team went to the national championship for the first time in 23 years. And let's call a spade a spade. This is Luther Campbell. Uncle Luke, he's the main culprit here. There's a couple others, but he's the main one.
What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, Kane fans? Man. All season, man. What can I say? We ain't got nothing else to do but to go crazy on each other, man. Today, I'm going to do a little review on my man Rudy Rodriguez, man, over at Unfiltered, the podcast. Come on now, the podcast. My man dropped some bombs on my boy, Uncle Luke, South Florida legend. Uncle Luke been, let's be honest, man. Uncle Luke been having a lot going on. He calling out a lot of coaches right now, bringing a lot of unwanted attention, man. So my man Rudy, he did a response video to a lot of the things that my man Uncle Luke been talking about, man. So we're gonna review it here on this channel. Y'all ball out with me.
I ain't say nothing while the season was going on because I didn't want to be the distraction that most idiotic fans wanted to be. This is a problem. So this is a part of my rant. When I say fuck Shannon Dawson, this is what he said on that date. Charlie Kirk died. I don't want no Charlie Kirk unalive. I don't want no. I don't pray on nobody leaving here under no circumstances. Everybody had a right. I fought for the right for Charlie Kirk to be able to say what he wanted to say and how he wanted to say it. I respect that. Whatever you want to say, however you want to say it, I fought for that right for Charlie Kirk to go on campuses and talk shit about black people and say how incompetent black people are, how incompetent the Katanji, who went to Palmetto High, how incompetent Supreme Court this Katanji is, how incompetent when you get on it, when he gets on.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. At this point, Uncle Luke, bro, you just need to keep politics out of football. You need to either focus on one or two things, football or politics, because the both of them do not mesh together. And right now, you are proving that point, bro. You are really proving that point, because everything you saying it, but you not really saying it, and then you mumbling, and then you Katanji, bruh. Most people that follow these platforms where we're talking about Miami Hurricane football, we're talking about sports, bro. And you including the politics into it, it ain't working out for you, bro.
On the airplane, how he said MLK was a whore and he shouldn't be respected, and how Nicki Minaj.
Bro, I ain't gonna cap, bro. I don't know what the hell Uncle Luke talking about at this point. I don't know what he talking about. I really don't, man. And let's continue, man.
And other people do. Listen, man. This guy here, what triggered me in him was Tommy Tuberville. When he got on here, I'm praying for Charlie Kirk. Why are you up here making money for? See, these people think they're making money from the University of Miami. You're making the money from the University of Miami, but here's the deal. You're making it off the backs of black kids. If them black kids if Malachi Tony don't go out there and perform on a high level, you get fired. If Ruben Baines don't go out there and perform on a high level, you get fired. If Fletcher don't run that motherfucking ball, you get fired. You're making money, you feeding your family off the backs of these young black men.
Okay, I think I got it now. Uncle Luke said all of that just to prove a point that these coaches, such as a Shannon Dawson, are making money based off of the black football players. Even though there's white football players as well, there's Hispanic football players as well. You even have guys like Maui Noah, who's either Samoan or Hawaiian or something. I could be getting it wrong, and excuse me if I am. Pacific Islander, something of that effect. We get it. And now that we back to talking about football, let's continue to see what else Uncle Luke has to say.
They're making you rich. They're feeding your family. So you want to cake with this motherfucker here? Then you need to go to Liberty or some school like that.
So basically his whole thing is, if Shannon Dawson is going to be in support or have some type of sympathy for someone in the likes of a Charlie Kirk, then he doesn't need to be coaching for the University of Miami. I think I got it. I think.
This is the same guy that would try to sell out the program back in the early 90s when he threatened to dig up all the bodies if Miami didn't start Ryan Collins. He's been playing this race card now for years, 30 fucking years. Mind you, the people that largely supported his music, people like me, issues with Ray Joseph or Josiah Trader, JoJo Trader. I got no issues with them. I wish they could have gotten on the field. Had they been good enough to get on the field, they would have been on the field. You think that these coaches are not trying to play these dudes? You think Kevin Beard, the wide receivers coach, who you've been fucking attacking.
And that's when my issue comes in at, right? Because it's like, if you're for the program, right? If you for the University of Miami, why are you attacking the coaches? Politics aside, emotions aside, and it's all for the sake of them not playing a receiver that you coached. It's kind of selfish, man. And at some point, you have to take yourself out of the equation and look at the bigger picture. It's not about just yourself. It's not just about the kids that you coach. It's about the program in totality. And from my understanding, and Rudy's going to go into it a little bit more, it seemed like Luke was never really concerned about the program in totality based on what Rudy was saying.
You think he doesn't want to play these dudes? You think he's not playing the best guys? He had dudes that were out. He had CJ Daniels out for a few weeks, and JoJo Trader could not take the job. He had the ability to take the job, and what did he do? Drop the fucking ball at SMU. Caused an interception, lost the game. Otherwise, played well in that game, but that pick cost us a damn win.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. I don't like to blame JoJo for losing the SMU game, but I ain't gonna cap. When he dropped that ball and it bounced into the defender's hand, that completely switched the momentum of the game, and I ain't gonna lie. I don't see how we lose that game if that does not happen.
He dropped a bunch of passes when he had them thrown in. He dropped balls this year. These are facts. I don't know a ton about Ray Joseph personally. I didn't cover him in high school. And all I hear about is how amazing he is. Well, he's clearly not amazing enough to crack the depth chart at Miami. And maybe you should look in the mirror and talk to the kid rather than freaking voicing your anger at coaches who have far more qualifications than you do. You've been selling out Miami for 30 years. Hell, you're the reason that we got in trouble to begin with, because you were giving out shit. Hey, thank you for doing it, but you also then dimed out the whole goddamn school.
Now, I may be a little too young to understand what Rudy's talking about as far as diming out the school. He keeps referring to Uncle Luke diming out the school. I'm not really too sure what the backstory is about that, so I can't dive too deep into it. Maybe I'm a little too young to understand what really took place in the early 90s. Late 80s, early 90s, but he keeps referring to Uncle Luke as diming out the school. I'm not too sure what that's about, man, but based on what I've seen as far as how Uncle Luke speaks about himself and his accolades and who he coached, and I can see Uncle Luke being a one for all type of dude. I can see Uncle Luke just putting himself in the forefront. Straight up, man.
And now you want to call Shannon Dawson a racist in that rant you went on yesterday? I mean, give me a break. I'm not a fan of Shannon Dawson. It wouldn't bother me none if he wasn't the head offensive coordinator anymore. I don't think he does a very good job. I think he's very easily manipulated by the fans in the stands. He gets nervous. He kind of tightens up in big situations. He overthinks things way too damn much, for which he's admitted. If he was replaced, I couldn't care less. But sitting here, you want to call the coach a racist? My opinions that I provide are based on facts and data. Yours are provided on emotion because you feel a certain way. Facts over feelings. You feel a certain way because your butt hurt, because Miami don't want your ass in the sideline anymore. Thank God they don't. Because it's guys like you and rappers like you who want all the fucking attention. It ain't about y'all motherfuckers. The worst thing about that national championship game was all the people that they invited who have nothing to do with the program, who were standing on the sideline, giving these bums passes. Like, these dudes ain't Hurricane fans. They don't go to games. They don't support the program. They show up in the big game when they can be seen and they can feel important.
Man, I said the same exact thing, bro. I said the same thing. A part of me feel like if we didn't have so many distractions on the sideline for this game, we probably would have won the game. I don't know, that's probably like far-fetched. You know, that's kind of a reach. But, bro, it was so many people out there that in a typical game or a typical season, they would not be on the sidelines. And then you had them directly on the sidelines behind the players. You had guys like Ray Lewis talking to Carson Beck. Bro, what is Ray Lewis talking to Carson Beck for, bro? It was all a distraction. And I have nothing against Ray Lewis. Shout out to the GOAT. But in big game situation like that, we need everybody to be focused on the mission at task. Not worrying about what Ray Lewis doing. Not worrying about what young Miami doing and Lil Uzi Vert. We need to be focused on winning the championship. We do not need all those distractions on the sideline.
That's fine. But stop acting like you give a fuck, because you don't. Which is why you have no problem saying stuff like the coaches don't actually develop players. This team was 5-7 4 years ago. They just went 13-3 and went to the national championship. Just beat Ole Miss, Ohio State, and Texas A&M back to back on the road, and beat Notre Dame to start the season, and beat Pitt on the road in a frigid weather game, beat the brakes off of them. 7-1 against top 25 teams until they lost to Indiana, which was the only loss they had.
Yeah, man. That says a lot, man. When we had the season that we had and you still can find a reason to be as riled up as Uncle Luke has been these past couple of days, ever since we lost the national championship, it says a lot, man. It says a lot. We all have our complaints. We all have things that we aren't as happy about. But for the most part, if you're a Miami Hurricane fan and you've been a Miami Hurricane fan for at least 25 years, that's the last time we've seen a national championship, bruh, embrace the moment. Enjoy the moment. We are now in relevance. We are now relevant again. You can't talk about college football without talking about Miami now. This is where we need to be. Still got guys like Uncle Luke who they still finding ways and things to just go so far and beyond about, just to make a big deal about, man.
They didn't develop them. They didn't get better. Are you crazy? What have you been watching? What have you been watching? You want to hurt the freaking players like a Ruben Bain and say, don't go there. Don't help out guys like a Ruben Bain. Don't help out the dudes from South Florida that are crushing it. I love my boys from South Florida. I'm from Miami-Dade County, 305, born and raised. And I would love for everybody from Miami-Dade to go to Miami. But goddamn, when you got people like you who claim to be fans, miss me with the nonsense, man. Take your fake fandom and get the fuck out of here. Go be a Florida State fan. Go be a Gator fan. Go cheer for Alabama, Georgia, Texas, Ohio State. But get out of here, because we don't care about you. You're irrelevant. You're insignificant. Move the fuck on.
Man, there you have it, man. Uncle Luke done officially pissed Rudy off. He completely pissed Rudy the fuck off. Rudy done turned up. He been dropping bombs, and he been talking about it, you know, for a while now. But on this particular video, I just had to go ahead and put this put this up, man, and let the people know Rudy ain't playing about the Canes, dog. Rudy's taking 10 toes down. So, hey, man, watch all the Hurricane slander. Watch all the Hurricane coach slander. Because you might have Rudy come after you, man. That's all I got for y'all today, man. Like always, man, go Canes. Ball out, man. I'm checking out. Catch y'all on the next one.